Hello, randos, and welcome to another episode of Random Tables, the podcast where I sit down with a new game master every 2 weeks and we continue the story from where the previous left off. My name is Michael. I am your solo player and host, and I am joined today by Dungeon Master George from RPG Blender.
Hello, I am Game Master George. Thrilled to be here to continue this adventure in Random Tables. Can't wait to see what happens. Wait, I'm running it. I should know what happens. We'll find out if I really do.
We will indeed. So for those of you who are just tuning in, I am playing Durian Greyhawk, the Battle Bard. I was traveling along to the Isle of Trassel, where I was hired to find out where their lake has mysteriously vanished, and I found a tower that had magically appeared out of nowhere. We traveled down into the tower and found ourselves at the bottom of the reservoir. However, there was a gate down there that was preventing us from moving forward, and the gatekeeper, Rascally Rick, who I am now indebted to in order to get myself and my companion back home again. So we have ventured into a place known as the Infinite City, and this is a city that exists in all of the realms within the Shattered Isles, the Shattered Realms. I am about to embark on another quest for Rascally Rick. However, I don't know what that is. That's George's job. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to our guest game master this week.
So, having just joined the guild, Rascally Rick turning to you and giving you his sly smile. So, you ready to get going? What do you need? You need a rest or something? You ready to go right away?
I look down at my tattered clothes from fighting these shadow creatures within the tower, and I'm like, yes, I could use a bit of a rest, or at least a hot meal or something.
Well, if you'd like, you can join your friend back there in the hole. I can give you 2 blankets. I'm giving him one. I might as well give you one, right?
You're a jokester, I see. No,
Yeah.
I'd rather stay up here, I think.
All right. Well, then, just come back and meet me there when you're ready to get going, and I'll show you what's what.
All right. So,
And just you remember, don't you be disappearing, or I'm gonna have another body to loot.
of course, I wouldn't dare. And as he turns away, that smile that I always have on kind of fades into an eye roll.
All right. If the woman who was, or the person who was there, helping you throughout this, if you're simply looking for a place to stay, we do have some quarters available. Can't guarantee you any kind of hot meal that's amazing, but we do have standard issue fare and a bed that is available if you need it.
That would be wonderful. Thank you. So very kind of you.
She just stares at you and lifts a hand, pointing off to the side, toward a series of rooms which stretch down the hall. As you make your way down, you can see that, indeed, you do have your choice of rooms, and each one of them is crammed full of roughly 8 to 12 beds that are stacked double high and crowding these fairly small rooms.
I guess, I have stayed in worse conditions. I'll just this one will do, and I'll walk to the very first one and kind of open the door, kind of gaze the room. I'm assuming this is like a hostel with a bunch of people in it.
It is, in fact, a hostel. Whether there are a lot of people in it, that, in fact, is not true at the moment. This is clearly meant to be a hostel, and it is clearly not the best of arrangements. So clearly the people who come here don't usually do so willingly. It's usually their first night that they've come here. They don't really know where they're supposed to go. They just need somewhere to sleep, and then they quickly learn that they would rather be somewhere else.
Well, luckily I won't be staying here very long. I'll find the nearest bed. I'll kind of, take the cover off, like look under it, hoping not to see any bed bugs.
It is immaculately cared for. It is cleaned with precision, possibly because it hasn't been used in some time. You do not find anything in the way of bugs or whatnot, but there's also nothing of particular comfort.
One of those saggy beds. It's like, it hasn't been changed in probably like 10 or 15 years.
Yep.
Understood. All right. Well, I just need a little time to rest. So I will take my loot axe off of my back and I'll set it leaning up against the bedpost right next to me. I will go on to the lower bunk as I feel that is the best way in case something were to happen that I could jump up, grab my axe and go. I also pull out the new blink blade that I have and just kind of examine it. I think through all of the chaos and everything, I haven't really gotten a good chance to examine what this blink blade actually looks like. I know it's a sword. I know it's metal. I know that it has the magical property of being able to come back to me at any time through teleportation magic. But is there anything of note on this particular blade?
Well, yes, it has a secondary magical effect of every time that it is described, it will have slightly different features. You're welcome, future game masters. The blade itself is roughly it's a roughly 4-foot long blade. It's a fairly sizable thing. On the blade itself, you see etched the word return, which you used previously to bring it back to you. The hilt is made of a similar material to that crystal that you had pulled it out of. And at the base, at the very bottom of it on the pommel, there is an orb. And within that orb, you can see that it's a translucent material, and within you can see a smoky substance. And at the very center of that, occasionally, as you look at it, you can see what looks like just the barest prick of some kind of dark thing at the center, usually fully obscured by the smoke.
Interesting. I will have to examine this further, but for now, it's time to rest. I will roll over into the hole that is a bed. My shoulders are kind of crinkled up slightly as as it sinks down. Not super comfortable, but it's better than a floor. And I look up and I say, well, I hope Mac is having a better time than I am.
We smash cut back to Mac, who is laying on a nice bed which has been provided to him by Rascally Rick. A nice little mattress. It's not particularly amazing, but it's nothing terrible. A worn blanket has been gingerly given to him as you see him and Rascally Rick in conversation. Now we cut back to the actual scene.
Poor Mac. Poor Mac.
So are you going for just a short rest here, or are you going for a full night's rest?
It would be best to get a full night's rest, but I think that I'm not knowing that Mac's having a pretty okay time. I think that I'd probably just want like a short rest, close my eyes, calm myself, and then got to get to work. So.
All right. Then you take your short rest, regain your... Actually, I don't think you regain any HP, do you?
Because I'm at 5, I believe, so...
Yep. Oof, that's rough.
You know what?
All
hey,
right.
you know what? I think as I doze off, I didn't realize how tired I was, and so I end up sleeping for a lot longer.
All right. So you settle in for a night's sleep upon this mattress.
Mm-hmm.
After you've been dozing for a little while, falling to sleep, you are awoken in the middle of the night, which startles you probably as you notice that there is now darkness where there was once sunlight. And you see standing in the doorway a rather large person with a bluish skin tone. They are a hulking creature of a person, roughly 8 feet tall with bulging muscles and clad in what appears to be a some kind of leather armor with a large cloak pulled over top. The masculine features are staring at you as the door bounces back from where it had struck the wall. You took my favorite bed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize, but there are plenty to go about. I'm sure you could find another one for the night, as I have settled in.
Glares at you further, takes a step in your direction, then another. Before the smile cracks on the face. It's so much fun messing with the newbies. Oh, how long you been here? Is this your first night? Must be. No, people don't stay here that long.
You had me, sir. Yes, this is my first night in the Infinite City, the wonderful city that it is.
Oh, wait, first night entirely in this city. Oh, you picked okay. Well, I guess if you're here just for some relaxation, by all means, enjoy the bed. If you want to see the town, happy to take you around. But otherwise, enjoy your evening. I don't want to disturb you any more than I need to. I'm sure you got lots to do.
Thank you, sir, kind sir. By the way, I am Durian Greyhawk, the Battle Bard.
Durian Greyhawk the Battle Bard. Well, that is a fun name to say. Durian Greyhawk the Battle Bard.
Yes.
Ooh, I like it. Austin, nice to meet you.
Austin, you said?
Austin, Ossin.
Austin.
Sticks a hand out for a handshake.
A fine name, sir. And I reach out to grasp his hulking hand as well.
And remember, pick another bed next night, yeah? And he'll turn and he'll lumber out of the room.
This large, blue-skinned person, is this something I'm familiar with, or is this like everything else in this city? It's brand new, kind of never before seen to mine eyes.
Something brand new.
Okay, all right.
Bards trained you well, but unfortunately, there was that forbidden knowledge.
The forbidden
which
knowledge
which you are now bound to keep. Congratulations.
Which is the antithesis of everything that I want. I want to learn and I want to write it down and share it with the world. Hopefully I'll find a way around that. So yeah, I guess after that, that was like a cup of coffee. That really, I thought I was about to get into another brawl. So I'm up. I'm awake. I guess it's time to get going. I think I'll go search out Rick once again to find out exactly what I need to be doing.
All right. You make your way back into the Infinite City and attempt to find your way back to Rascally Rick's hideaway. How good are you at navigation?
I'm good enough to roll for it.
All right. I was giving you the opportunity to say, oh, I'm a master navigator, mental perfection. But hey, we're here to roll dice.
I think I should state this about Durian. I think that there's Durian has been trained well by the bards. But I do think that there's an air about Durian where he puts on a lot more than he actually is. And so I think that this is probably one of those things where it's like, this is probably his first real big adventure, like far away from the Isle of the Bards. So I will put that out there.
All right, let's get that roll.
All right, navigation. That is an 8.
An 8. Okay. A tough choice. Okay. So as you begin making your way through, you see that you're beginning to see the signs that are going to lead you in that direction. But eventually you do kind of lose the path, and you have two thoughts as to which way you might want to go. To the one side, there is this alley that is very, very dark. This entire city seems very well lit for the night, but this alley in particular, it looks like there might be some shattered lights along the way. Or you can continue forward where you're hearing some sort of sound of ruckus. You're pretty sure that either direction will eventually lead you back to Rascally Rick's. But the question is, which would you rather take? the dark alley, or the one with the loud ruckus?
I think what's going to pique my interest the most, I'll probably start. I'm trying to recall which way I got here. I'm like, I think it was this alley, but it's dark now and it's hard to remember. And then the sound of the ruckus is going to pull my attention that direction. And I, as a new person, as a musician, as an adventurer wanting to help or whatever, that is going to guide me in that direction.
Okay. So you walk down the street, the fairly wide thoroughfare, to where you can see, as you draw closer to the sound of the noise, what looks like a crowd of people surrounding something in a circle.
I get to the back of this crowd, and I'm kind of trying to peek over the shoulders, but there's a lot of tall creatures, we'll say for now. So I look to the person nearest me, and I'm like, "Oh, excuse me. What seems to be going on here?"
Eh? Oh, well, did you just get here?
Yes, I did, in fact.
Oh, well, I haven't gotten up to see just yet, but from what I'm hearing, somebody got up there, so they're trying to figure out exactly what happened.
Oh dear, someone has been killed?
No, someone got, but they're gone now.
They were taken.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's, we assume that's what happens.
Thank you for your time. Excuse me. Oh, pardon. Excuse me. A hero coming through.
So you push your way through up to the front, and what you see is there are roughly half a dozen officers there, constabulary, examining the scene, keeping people back. And in the center of the ruckus, you see what looks like... It almost looks like a scorch mark in the ground, but there's no sign of actual heat. It just looks like a darkened area. Nothing around it has been burned. It's just darkness in the ground. And as you look at it, you can see that there are vaguely humanoid features poking out of that darkness burned into the ground.
Vaguely humanoid creatures, as though they were like...
as you look at it, you can see that there's something that looks almost like an arm was flattened into a black, like cut out of a black piece of paper and then pressed into the ground.
Is this darkness similar to the shadow creatures that I fought the day before?
It is reminiscent of it. There is a shadow-like quality to the appearance. However, there is light shining from all around, from the people, from the officers, and it's not dissipating.
Interesting. I quickly pull out my notebook and just jot down a couple of things to remember, and then I look for the nearest... you know what? Not the nearest. I look for the person who looks like they're in charge, maybe a constable or something like that, a detective, and I say... you there, can you explain what's going on here? Hello, Durian the Battle Bard, and I even pull out my card and like, Shatterwalkers Guild.
The man with the very tall hat turns towards you. Sir, we need you to keep back. This is an active investigation. And then you say, he gets to the end of your speech with the Shatterwalkers Guild. Oh my goodness.
It's hard to say.
Shatterwalkers Guild. Mm-hmm. Not another one of you. Look, you have your ability to travel. You've got all that. Stay out of our affairs. We do not need you right now. We have our own investigators dealing with this. We've told your organization this plenty of times. You deal with what's out there. We deal with what's in here.
Apologies. I am new to the guild. Just before traveling to the city, I faced a similar creature to what I'm seeing here, and I just thought perhaps I could lend a hand. But if you have it under control, by all means, I understand. And I begin to walk away with a little bit of a bluff.
Okay, give me your roll. Give me a roll. This sounds like a good time for a roll.
Okay. That's an 18.
That's an 18. All right. Sir, I apologize for my outburst. As you can understand, this is a very tense time, and we do not need every random individual coming in here hoping to find their glory by solving these issues. If you have relevant information, I would of course be happy to hear it. Now, you said that you've seen creatures like this before?
Yes, you see, I travel from the Isle of Trassel. I was investigating a missing lake there, and as I was investigating, I came across similar creatures. Some were calling them the Shadow King, but that doesn't feel right as there were multiple. They seem to be surrounding this blink blade, perhaps guardians or protectors, and I pull out the blink blade and show them.
Drop me a d20, please.
All right. That's a 12.
It's a 12. Okay. With a 12, as you pull it out, you notice that the darkness in the pommel has grown slightly.
Anyway, yes, these are vicious creatures. They seem to have the ability to teleport from shadow to shadow, yet it seems light now. This seems different. I'm not sure. Perhaps they are evolving. And I kind of start to ramble into this, like, hypothesis bubble on my own. I'm no longer talking to him. I'm trying to figure it out just out loud.
Shadow creatures, I think that would fit with what we've seen before. Thank you for this information. Where are you staying? Will you be staying at the guild itself? Are you staying in town?
Yes, I am staying at the guild. And because I have an assumption about Rascally Rick, I am not going to mention his name to the police.
All right. Well, we will corroborate that. We'll compare. We'll see if we've heard anything about this. That was the first time that you'd experienced this sort of creature?
Yes, the first one had these glowing yellow eyes, and the second one seemed much stronger. It had blue purple crackling eyes. I'm not sure if they're growing in power or there's a hierarchy. I would just say be aware they are vicious creatures.
Thank you for your information. Durian Greyhawk, was it?
Yes, Durian Greyhawk, the battle bard.
He gives you a long look at that. Thank you. Thank you for your assistance. Mm-hmm. If we need any further information, we will be in touch.
Of course. I give like a little bow, and then I will continue down the path.
Okay. You continue down the path, and it's not long before you do arrive at Rascally Rick's little unsubstantial hideaway.
Rick, are you around?
Oh, you're here. Good. You ready to get going with this?
Yes, I've had plenty of rest. I feel rejuvenated, and I think it's time that we embark on our journey.
Good. We got a lot of work to do here. All right. So you're gonna just follow me. We're gonna head through the city. All right.
Of course.
Take a little tour.
Mac, are you doing all right? I know it must have been an excruciating night. I apologize.
Yes. Yep. I'm doing well. It was. Rick shoots him a glance. Yes, it was terrible. But I'm hanging in there.
Poor fellow. I'll get you out of here. Don't you worry.
Well, we'll just see about that.
He begins leading you through the city. He pulls the hood up over his head, obviously keeping to the shadows as you walk through the city.
So, you ready for your first venture into another place?
Yes, of course, I was born for this.
Good, good. So, you're gonna be hunting down a little object for me in there, all right? It's just a nice little sealed box. You're gonna get it from me. You're gonna bring it back to me, all right? Nice and easy.
Sure, sounds simple enough. But do tell me, Rick, what importance is this box you seek?
It's a box. It holds things. What more importance do you need than a box holding things?
Of course, I just thought, as partners and friends, I'm gonna pull out my axe and just kind of like slowly strum a little chord, and I'm going to cast Compel Truth. Compel Truth. Your eyes glow like blue flames as you look into the eyes of a nearby creature and grip their mind. I will roll, and I will tell you what I get from the roll.
Okay.
If that's okay. If I can do this.
Absolutely,
Okay.
of course.
Perfect. 8. So 8 is a tough choice, which is 6 through 10. The target is compelled to answer one question truthfully. So again, as I'm kind of saying, as friends, I thought perhaps you would tell me, what is in the box.
He shifts his eyes around.
Come here. He gestures you to come in close. It's the heart of a dying world inside of that box.
Heart of a dying world sounds very interesting.
These doors, these doors are uncontrollable, right? They come, they go, they do what they want. But with the energy of one of them, you can make a door that lasts. You can make a door that goes where you want it to go.
Yes, of course. It sounds very powerful indeed, Rick. Heart of a dying-
Powerful, valuable. Get one of them, and I'm gonna be set for lives.
Lives. I love that. Yes, well, seems simple enough, but I'm sure there's a catch. Otherwise, you would go after it yourself, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd think that, wouldn't you? Yeah, that's why I got a rube like you to get in there, dummy. Yeah.
Yes, but there's nothing you want to give your friend a heads up on or anything.
Well, all I can say is, watch your feet. Watch carefully for things that are not quite what they should be.
All right. So as we're chatting and going along, I will once again kind of jot down these things. Heart of a dying world, can create doorways and control them, etc., etc.
Okay. And eventually, you arrive at a tall tower within the city.
All right, let's get into this library, yeah?
Yes. After you, Rick.
All right. He walks in the front door. You see rows and rows of books. He leads you through the corridors to a back alley where you can clearly see the word "restricted" put in place. He looks over his shoulder in either direction.
All right, you got some sneakiness to you, right?
But of course.
Good. You any good with locks?
I can try. I read a book or two on it, but I've never actually done it with my bare hands before.
Say you want me to do it, eh?
That would be preferred. Although I would love
All
to
right.
watch you, if that's all right.
It's always nice to learn from a master, right?
And with a 16, he does succeed as he pulls out a little lock-picking kit.
Keep an eye out, would you?
Walks over to the restricted area door, fiddles with the lock a bit. Click.
All right, and we're gonna be quiet going in here, yeah?
He opens the door, which gives the slightest bit of a squeak as you make your way inside.
Yeah. You ready?
Let's go.
Gotta go quietly here.
Mm-hmm.
As you are going through the halls, you can hear occasionally the footsteps of clearly other people roaming these halls. And it's probably a good idea not to be found. So let's get that D20.
All right, perfect. Ooh, that is a 5.
Oh, okay. Of course. All right. So, with a 5, you're making your way through these halls. Rascally Rick ahead of you, effortlessly darting between the shadows as he is wont to do. And as you go down, there's a bit of stone that's just a little bit loose in the wall. And as you go by, your loot axe just chips it slightly. It falls down, making a nice little clatter on the ground. You hear voices from down the side. What was that? No one's supposed to be in here right now. Did anybody sign in here? I don't think so. Let's go find out what's over there. And they begin. You hear the footsteps beginning to charge in your direction. Quick! All right. Plan B. Plan B or C.
I always go in order. B.
Fight or run. Fight or run.
I'm not the fastest of foot, but let's try to run first, shall we?
All right. Let's get that roll.
All right. So so we start booking it down. Another 5.
Oh no!
No.
Okay. You begin booking it down. The ground is unfortunately slick, as not many people have come through here, and clearly somebody has just mopped this floor.
Oh, God.
As you don't necessarily fall, but you do slide on the ground a little bit. Your feet giving way slightly. As you hear from behind you voices, "Stop! What do you think you're doing over there? Get back here!"
Hold on, I want to see. I do want to check my spell list real quick, just in case I have something. I'm going to look at Rick and I'm going to say, "Split up. I have this." And then I am going to use provoke because I want to get them to follow me, where he can kind of slip off into the darkness, and then perhaps I can find a way to hide, and if not, I am more capable of fighting than he is. So I will use provoke, make a nearby creature angry at you by saying something or making a rude gesture. So I'm just going to turn around and flip him the bird. Just
okay.
And then I'm gonna go right and have him go left.
Get to the roof, okay? Get to the roof.
I'll see you there, Rick. Hey, fuck you! And then I'm just gonna run.
What'd you say? Stop right there! You are being detained! As the 2 people come charging at you, leaving Rick to go about his own business.
I am not gonna stop. I'm gonna take off.
Okay. You take off. Let's see if you successfully lose them at this point.
Okay, come on, guys.
Cue
come on,
number
dice. I'm gonna have to switch it. If I get another 5, I swear to God. It's not a 5. It's a nat 1.
No. Okay. Nat 1. Auto fail, severe setback. You begin tearing through the halls, trying to make your way away from the guards. As you do, you see a nice doorway nearby. You open it to go inside, and barracks.
Oh, great. More.
Huh? You see that many of them are rubbing sleep out of their eyes as the door opens. Wait. Huh?
Who are shit?
Who are you? Yeah, what's... Get him! Stop him! As you hear the voices coming from behind you.
I shut the door. This is a library, right? So I'm like running down.
That's what Rick called it. That's for sure.
Are there like stacked bookcases that I'm running through?
There are. They are far more sparse than they were before. But there are still bookshelves within the halls.
Okay, so. If I can, I already have 2 guys coming, and I'm about to have more guys come out of this door. I'd like to shut the door and see if I can knock over a bookcase to keep that shut while I continue to run away.
Okay.
So to maybe negate more people coming out.
All right, let's get that roll. It can't possibly be low again.
15.
All right, with a 15, you knock over the nearest bookshelf. It has some nice heavy almanacs on it, which land in front of the door, barring it, preventing them from easily getting out. But at this point, the other guards are nearby. They will be able to catch you soon. So let's see how this next runaway roll goes.
Okay.
Unless you choose to fight. That's up to you.
Yeah, I can see... I imagine that I've slammed this bookcase and it's kind of pinned the door, but because I had to take the time to do that, I imagine they're like at the other side of the bookcase and going to try to climb over. So what I'm going to do is, as they climb over the bookcase, I'd like to slide under the bookcase and go back the way I came.
Ooh,
Kind of-
fancy.
yeah. As they're like climbing over and having a hard time, I want to kind of just baseball slide under it.
All right. Dice don't fail you now.
That's a 10. It's a tough choice.
Yeah. Okay. With a 10, as you are sliding underneath, your loot axe catches on part of the wood. You have a choice to force yourself free, continue, but it will be wrenched free from your back and be left behind, or you can stand and fight at this point, but you'll be doing it from underneath a bookshelf. Is where it happened.
My loot axe is by far my most important item. I cannot give that up. Hence, I can't make my spells happen. So I am going to stay and fight. I think it's time. I've done enough running, caused enough chaos. I think it's time to take these guys down. But I want to make sure that I'm not going to. These guys are just doing their job. I don't want to kill them.
Okay.
So I want to do what do you call it? Non-lethal damage is what I'm looking for.
Got it.
So
all right.
I'm not going to use my axe. I'm going to pop up and I'm going to smack one. Just punch him. Just a punch.
Okay. Let's get that roll.
That is a... Man. That's a 7.
No!
That's a 7.
What is happening here?
Hey, it happens.
Okay, so 7 in combat. Oh, goodness me. Let's get back to the deadly scenes rule. Okay. So you get your tough choice at this point. As you're popping up through there, this is a bookshelf. You're popping up through it. There's books everywhere. You've ripped your loot free. Your fist is flying at the guy. You feel your fancy cloak catching on part of the wood. You can continue with your strike and rip your fancy cloak, or you can get jostled by it. And I believe your fist only does 1 damage anyway.
Correct.
Yes, and unfortunately be unable to truly damage this guy.
I think it's funny and interesting that I pop up and I go for a swing and it catches just before I can actually like make contact with him. I think that's funny. So we're going to go with that.
Okay, cool. So your fist is there, frozen in air before him. He recoils back slightly, expecting the impact, opens his eyes, sees your fist there, and comes in for his own punch against you.
All right.
With a nat 20. Okay, so that's 2 damage. Yeah.
Okay, 2 damage.
Okay, 2 damage.
Oh.
The other one, the other guy then comes and is attempting to give you a nice little elbow to the side to bring you down. And with an 18, he does succeed in hitting you for 1 damage.
All right. So this is getting out of hand, and I am not a fan. So I would like to. Is there like a light or a chandelier or something above us at the moment, perhaps?
Yes. As you've been running down this hall, at periodic intervals, you've seen those nice little circular ones with the rows of candles on top.
Sure.
And there is one conveniently above you.
All right. Of course. It's always convenient.
Of course.
I am going to use my blink blade. So I'm going to pull it out and kind of like threaten them for a moment with it as though I'm like going to stab them. And then I'm going to like Robin Hood this thing. I want to throw it at the rope that is holding it to see if I can get it to fall on them.
Okay. Let's see what happens.
That is a 17.
There we go. All right. The blade flies true, snapping the rope. What do you want to happen? Do you want them being comically trapped within it? Do you want them being falling on top of them? How do you want them handled by this?
I think you've given me the idea, so I have to go with it. They're comically trapped within it. They're both kind of like trying to no, left, right. Your other
They're
right.
stumbling either direction, trying to their feet catch up within the bookshelf that you're still inside of, and then topple to the ground, begin rolling down the hall.
And I am going to book it. And as I'm running, I'm going to hold out my hand above me and I'm going to say, return.
Turn, you hear and it returns back to your hand as you book it through the halls, finding your way to a set of stairs, which will, I assume you're still continuing with the mission?
Yeah, I'm looking for a way up now.
Okay. It's not too hard. You can ray trace your steps. You didn't actually get that far, so you can get back to where you met with Rascally Rick, rather where you separated from Rascally Rick, and you see that in the direction that he went, you see there's a set of stairs at the end of the hall.
Haul ass. I'm going to go straight up, not caring about anything. I just need to get out of this area.
Okay. You haul ass. You make your way up, and at the top of the stairs, a door. You open it up.
Oh, I burst through it.
Bursting through, you find yourself on the top of the tower. Rascally Rick jumps slightly as you burst through the door. Oh man, you made it. Okay. All right, you're a little more capable than I thought. Hey, you know what? Maybe you'll actually be able to do this. All right.
It was no problem at all.
Yeah, I can see that. You look good. All right. So you're ready for this?
Yes. I would say let's move it along, shall we?
Yeah. Okay. Come here.
He walks over to the edge of the tower.
Okay. I walk over to the edge of the tower and look down.
Do you remember when I said that some of these doors are really exits only? Well, this one in particular, part of that is because gravity really only goes in one way. As you look down the side, you can see that jutting out of the side of the tower is what looks like a small trap door, as if it was built into floor that is no longer there, just hanging on by the barest bit of a frame attached to the tower.
That's our exit.
Yeah, they don't always show up in convenient places, you know?
And no, not our exit. No. Yeah, I ain't going there. There's a reason I'm asking you to do this thing.
You're sure there's no other way?
And none that I found.
I take a moment and I kind of like back up and contemplate. And then I imagine that these guys are going to be catching up with us soon, so I have to make a decision very quickly. And I just jump.
You jump. Okay. You jump. Let's get that roll.
Oh God. It's a 12.
A 12. That is a good time for a 12.
That is a good time for a 12.
I didn't foresee the frantic chase by all the guards of this place, so there we go. You leap off the edge. You've falling down the ground. You've managed to get your trajectory to right. You head toward that trapdoor. You slam through it, and you find yourself falling slightly before you land on a bed of leaves and soft, springy grass. You look around, and you see the most vibrant forest you've ever seen. lush greenery, fruits hanging from the trees, and berries on bushes. The absolute picture of natural perfection.
Incredible. These doorways are incredible. Yeah, I'm going to stand up out of this bed of leaves and take in the beauty of this standard fantasy forest.
Critters roam nearby.
Sure.
You see squirrels, birds, a deer frolics up to you and just nuzzles you on the side, utterly unafraid of the human presence.
Right. Oh, shit. I didn't ask him where it was. Damn. Well, I guess I better start looking for clues.
Heads up! And from the sky, from the where you just came, drops a little ball. I want that back when you're done with it.
Incredible. I run over, kind of dig through the leaves, trying to find this ball in a haystack situation, a ball in a leaf stack, and I grab the orb, what I assume is an orb. I'm not sure.
Yes, it's a translucent orb filled with what looks like a black sand. The sand, as you pick it up, you can see that it is starting to run up the side of the orb itself, almost like it's being pulled up the side of it in a specific direction.
Interesting. I am going to turn my body a full 180 degrees while still holding.
And as you turn, the sand continues to rise up that side, and as you turn, it turns with it, rotating so that it is always rising up slightly in the same direction.
Interesting. A very magical compass, I'm assuming. Great. So I am going to take one last look at the beautiful area, and I strap my loot axe to my back. I sheathe my sword once again. I am going to head towards where it seems to be telling me. It seems to be pulling me.
Okay.
And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Random Tables. Tune in next week to find out where George is going to take Durian next. It's super exciting. If you like what we're doing here at Random Tables, go check out our other part-time hero show, Dueling Dungeon Masters, where you can see this handsome face or these vivacious vocals. And if you really like what we're doing here at Part-Time Heroes, maybe join the Patreon, join our Discord, grab some swag. We've got some really cool stuff. Thanks again for listening, and we will see you next time on another Random Table.